Okay, self-care means something different to everybody. This is my definition, at least a little bit of it, of self-care. I hope you enjoy the video. Hello. My name is Kimberly Darshell, and this is Kim's Couch. How you doing today? I hope you had a great week. I know I had a great week filled with so many wonderful surprises, so many awesome blessings. I'm so grateful to God, and I know that you're grateful too. So today, I want to talk about self-care. I do. So there's a scripture that talks about the golden rule. And the golden rule is do unto others as you have them do unto you. And that's great, right? We want to treat people the way that we want to be treated. I get that for sure. But what about also saying, do unto yourself the way that you'd have people do unto you? Like, you treat yourself the way that you want people to treat you. I used to tell my children all the time, you have to teach people how to respect you. Because if you don't teach them, they will put you in a category with everyone else. The way they talk to everyone else, they'll talk to you that way. So the way they treat other people, they'll treat you that way because that's who they are. But you have to say, no. Don't talk to me that way. I don't answer to that. Or I don't like that. Whatever it is. But you have to teach people how to treat you. And the same goes to like when it comes to self-care. We got to treat ourselves the way that we want to be treated. So like, so many examples. I'm going to give you an example. Well, before I give you the example, let me just say this. Because I should have said this. The title of today's talk is, who do you love? Who do you love? So when you think about who you love, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to just maybe call out the names of those you love. Won't nobody hear you. It's just us. So, you ready? Let's go. All right, that's 5 seconds. So here's a question, and be honest. Did you, while you were calling out the names of those you love, did you mention yourself? Tell the truth, shame the devil. Did you mention yourself? If you did not, that's a big problem. That's a huge indicator that you definitely got to do some self-loving. That's one. Now, if you mention yourself, like what range did you mention yourself? Did you mention yourself first? Like, I love God, I love me, I love my children, I love, my mom and dad. Or did you say, I love my family, I love this, all these people. And then you mention you at the end. Or last thing, did you just mention all of these people and didn't even mention yourself? We got to do better because you matter. You matter and I matter. We matter. So just depending on where you mention your name in that is a huge indication of what you need to start doing for you. It's time for you to either continue pouring into you or start pouring into you. It's time for some self-love. It's time for some self-care. I remember when I was younger and would get on the flights, right? And we always hear the flight attendant say, if something should happen, put on your oxygen mask first and then take care of the child. Put theirs on second. And when I was younger, and I would say, oh, that's not fair. Why would anybody, that's a baby or that's a young person. Why would anybody take care of themselves first and then do? But of course, when you're older, you know. Because if you're not taken care of, you can't take care of that little person. If you're not taken care of, you can't take care of that big person. Like if we don't take care of ourselves, we don't have anything to give to anyone else. You matter. You matter and I matter. We have to start taking care of ourselves. Like we have to be at a place where we are so full that I have an example. Crap, I should have brought this because it's just coming to my mind. Hold on. Oh, crap. I'm gonna insert an example like right about here. That's the image, you guys. So full that it overflows. Give from your saucer, not the empty cup. We have to, pour into ourselves so much that we are serving out of our saucer, not even out of our cup. Like we want to be overflowing. We want to be overflowing with health, overflowing with wealth, overflowing with goodness, overflowing with love. We want to pour into ourselves so that we can give out the extra to everybody else. But if our cup is empty, what can I give to you? What can we give to anybody else if we're thirsty? If I'm thirsty and you're thirsty and there's nothing in the cup to drink, who does that help? But I have to make sure that I am super hydrated so that I can give to you. And when you're thirsty, I can, drink. Here, drink because I'm already good. Right? I'm full. I'm good. I'm hydrated. I'm good. So, when I think about self-care, we already talked about an indication that you need it. Depending on when I asked the question, who do you love, where you fell into that. That's one indication. And now what do you do to take care of yourself? A lot of people do a lot of different things, and that's fine. You got to do what works for you. So I guess the first thing you do is to really sit back and evaluate, what do you like? What do you like to do? What makes you happy? What can you do that you don't need the help of anyone else to do? Because remember, it's not everybody care, it's self-care. What can you do? What can you afford to do for yourself that will help you be the best you that you can be? I know what I can do is I can stop eating ice cream every time I feel emotional, because eating ice cream every time I feel emotional or I'm being triggered in some way, that's not self-care. So one thing that I can do instead of eating ice cream or eating away these feelings is I can lace up some tennis shoes and I can go for a walk. That's what I can do. And guess what? I used to do that all the time, but I just have to get back into it. Get back to doing what matters, what self-care for me means, what it looks like for me. Another thing that you can do, like anything that has to do with your health, because health is wealth. So, we can maybe drink more water, right? Maybe turn off the TV, turn off whatever outlet has you comparing yourself with somebody else, or the way they do this, or the way they look, or how they dress, or the body type, or whatever. Turn that off. You don't need to look at that. You need to look in the mirror and say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm going to make sure that I take care of you, So yeah, the comparison game, you got to let that go if you're doing that, because comparing is not self-care. You got to be able to say, hey, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God didn't play when he was creating me. He knew exactly what he was doing. And he was like, oh, I'm going to make sure this girl has this, this, and this, and this. And you take on that and you're grateful for that. You know, if God wanted you to have those other features or the other things that you're comparing, he would have given it to you. But we trust God, right? And God doesn't make mistakes. So you are unique. You are unique. You are beautiful. You're awesome. You're amazing just the way you are. You are the way that God created you. You are. So that's one way, right? Like no comparing, no comparing yourself to anyone else. That's one. Maybe changing your diet. I talked about that last week. That's another. Do the things that you can do. And again, with that, don't try to do it like anybody else. Do what works for you. Right? Think about what works for you and do that. Right? Take a walk. Maybe meditate. Maybe not talk to the people that bring you down. If you talk, like I'm gonna tell you, there was a girl that used to call me, and she would only call me when she wanted to complain. And it got to the point that I was like, hey. And then next thing you know, she'd be complaining. And so I just kind of stopped talking to her. And I got to a place where I was like, nah, I'm not going to answer because I don't want to hear it. I don't feel like, being the garbage can for her today to just dump all the trash. So you have to, because trash is weight. Lay aside every weight, right? So the trash that people are dumping on you, you got to choose to say, nah, I don't want to be the trash can today. Nah, no, Or I'm not going to answer that call today because I already know. Let her talk to somebody else, So you got to protect your space, protect your peace. There's so many ways. There's so many things that you can do. Oh, I know another one. This is big. No. Using the word no. That's huge. You can do it. That's self-care. Saying no. I used to tell my kids all the time, no means no in every language. No. Say no and mean no. And you'd be surprised how that make you feel. You'd be so proud of yourself just for saying no and setting boundaries. That's self-care. Set boundaries. Don't worry about people being mad at you, or they'll get mad at me if I say no, or they won't talk to me. Good. Don't talk to me then, because if my saying no makes you so mad that you don't want to talk to me because you can't get your way with me, then thank you, because you did something that I wasn't strong enough to do. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you have to think about the things that you can do to better you. And the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but to those that endure till the end. So pace yourself when it comes to making these changes. You didn't get like this overnight. And so it's probably not going to change overnight. But pace yourself and make some progress, little progress. You'll be so proud of yourself. You really, really will. So like I said, there's so many ways of self-care. But I would say, get started with it. Just get started with one thing. One thing that you can do, that you can consistently do, whatever that is. Like I named a few things, but it may not work for you. What you may have to do is just be still and ask the question, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? God answers every prayer. God is not going to leave you in the dark. What do I need? What can I do to help myself? Just what can I do? God will give you the answer. He will. The Bible says, acknowledge me, acknowledge him, in all your ways, and he will direct your path, the way to go. He will direct that path. Acknowledge him in all your ways. So, God, what can I do? What can I do to help myself? What can I do? What's the first step? You know, maybe the first step, is as you're watching this and you're learning where you measured up in the people that you said you love, when you called out those names, where you lined up, like it's time to put yourself back on the priority list at the top of the priority list, because you matter. You do. You matter. You're so important. And you're important to so many people. You are. I mean, I would even say, maybe even after, you watch this video, my prayer is that God will show you how important you are. That God would allow someone to call you and to just remind you, they may remind you that you're needed, remind you that you love, reminded that you make them laugh, just reminded of your being, your unique being, and just how important you are. Anyway, that's my little take on self-care. We all need to do it. We all need to put ourselves first. We do. We got to take care of ourselves. And I know that we got these little people. Some of us have these little people that we got to take care of. Yeah, you do. For the young mothers, I remember my mom used to tell me when I was in the childbearing age. My mom would say when I started having babies, when the baby sleep, you sleep. Make sure you have the baby on a schedule, when you're able to put the baby on a schedule. You got to get your rest. You got to, eat right. You got to do this. So there are certain things that, that you have to do to take care of yourself so that you can take care of that baby. So you matter. You do. So take care of you so that we can see and experience the very best of you. I love you. I hope this made sense. I hope so. Anyway, until we talk again, enjoy your time. And also remember to be safe, be smart, and be still, and know that God is God. You know what I'm going to say. He's got you. And you got this. Until the next time, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Let people know about the videos. I love you. Bye.